Hello everyone, this is J.K.VARSHINI, Assistant Professor of Business Administration, A.D.M. College for Women, Autonomous Nagapattinam. Today I am going to explain about research methodology. So, what is research methodology? And meaning of research methodology, definition of research methodology, importance of research methodology, advantages of research methodology, limitations of research process. So, what is research methodology? First of all, I'm going to tell who can do research. So, everyone can do research and each individual can do research for the particular purpose to gain new information and data about their particular research problem. So, first of all, what is research methodology? A research methodology describes the technique and procedure used to identify and analyze information regarding a specific research topic. So, what they are saying is, in a research methodology, they have to analyze and organize something to explore new, and they have to find new answers to their question. So, research is nothing but one who do research, it is all about research. They are researching existing data into a discovery a new fact and data set. And next, meaning of research. Research is an organized and systematic way of finding answers to their questions. So it is an organized and systematic way. When we come to research, it should be organized and systematic way to find answers to your new questions. Next one, the definition of research. According to Creswell, 2008, research is a systematic investigation to establish the new facts. So, Creswell says a research is organized way and you have to introduce a new knowledge to their problems. Next one, research is a scientific investigation, voyage of discovery. So, first one is research is a scientific investigation. Science is anything that can be proven by science that is acceptable by every people. So, research is a scientific investigation. It gives only required data and also it only scientifically proven. Voyage of discovery is how the researcher is traveling in a research and discover a new facts. It's all about voyage of discovery. Research involves scientific observation. So it involves some of the design and some of the way to analyze the data. So research involves scientific observation. When a researcher observes something, they have to scientifically experiment them. So then only they can research their research problem. Next, research is systemized effort to gain new knowledge. Research is a systemized to new knowledge. For example, when medical research, it takes surveys and experiments. So these all comes under this. So research is carried out for two purposes. One is discovery of new facts, and another one is verification of the old one. Research is always about first-hand data, discovery of new facts. So, first-hand data is nothing but primary data that one researcher is going purposely to take surveys, experiments, and observation about a particular research problem and discover a new fact from that. So, verification of old one is secondary data. They are collecting data from secondary data, from analyzing some observationals, magazines, newspapers, etc. Next one is Isaac Newton once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." What he is trying to say is, he says that idea didn't come from him alone. He also did researches and do experiments and do do research with the help of previous researcher. So he says that ideas didn't come from him alone. He also did researches. The next topic is, why is research important? Research is important for several reasons. For example, foundation of knowledge, informed decision making, innovation and development, problem solving, credibility and rigor, replication and verification, advancement of knowledge, educational value. So first one is foundation of knowledge. Research forms the bedrock of knowledge in any field. So research is usually a complicated process. It allows the scholar to explore existing theories, discover new insights, and build upon previous work. So research is very, very important in a study, because a researcher have to discover their new insights and new theories about their research problem. So next one is informed decision making. A research guides researcher in choosing appropriate methods, tools and techniques, ensuring the reliability and validity of their product. It gives an informed decision making. When a researcher do a research, it will help to decide something in their research problem. So it says informed decision making. The researcher can access data from audience or participants. They can give a relevant data to their decision making. Next one is innovation and development. Through research, new methods and techniques are developed. For example, based on market research, Netflix transitioned from DVD rentals service to subscription-based streaming service. Netflix also developed technologies to optimize video compression, reduce buffering, and consistent streaming quality. So Netflix is do the research and did what the innovation and development they can develop in their company. So that research is very important in that area. So Netflix do researches for accomplish their DVD to rental DVD to streaming online platforms. Next one is problem solving. Research provide a systematic approach to solving problems. So when a researcher do research, it will be a systematic approach to solve the problem. It can give a relevant and statistical data to the researcher that facilitates them to solve the problem. It enables researchers to identify issue, formulate hypothesis, and test solution for problem solving in various departments. Next one is credibility and rigor. A robust research method lends credibility to the findings. Example, impact on credibility and rigor in McDonald's. A McDonald's shows that by adding a new menu in a restaurant can improve their profit. Further, they could take surveys for adding new nutritional foods. It can also build their brand image, and the research will show the expected outcome. So McDonald's have researched, and also they improved in their adding menus and the profit. Replication and verification. Research allows for the replications of studies. What is replication is how the researcher can do research by analyzing previous researches and replicate the process in his research to get better new solution for the research problem. Example, independent researchers can replicate the strategy that one company has used in their research. So why is verification is important? Accuracy, credibility, decision making. Accuracy is very, very important, and the credibility is also important. Next one is advancement of knowledge. Continuous research leads to new discoveries and advancement in knowledge. For example, Amazon conducted research to discover their customer preferences, so they could enhance their knowledge by analyzing customer behavior in the purchasing pattern. The research always facilitates the advancement of knowledge. Next one is educational value. Engaging in research cultivates critical thinking, analytical thinking, and a deep understanding of subject matters. So it facilitates, enhance the educational value, build the researcher skills and knowledge. Next topic is advantages of research. The first one is systematic research. The first one is systematic approach. So systematic approach is a organized and statistical approach towards the research. When a researcher can do research with the systematic approach, it is the one of the advantages. And next one is improved research design. So when a researcher do research, the improved research design is one of the advantages, because they can effectively take surveys, experiments and observation from the participants in the total population. So research design may improve in their research. So it is one of the advantage. And then enhanced data collection. So research facilitates enhanced data collection. So when a researcher do research in around 300 people or 500 people, so he can easily collect the data from them, and it improves the data collection methods. So data collection has two types, primary data and secondary data collection. Next one is ethical research practices. So when it comes to ethical research practices, the researcher should be maintain the proper confidentials about participants. So the ethical research practices will be an advantage of research. Next one is reproducibility and reliability. So reproducibility, as I said before, it a replication process, so it advantages for the many researchers to do better researches in their research. And reliability, when the fact is true, the reliable data can be accessed by every further researchers, so it benefits the researchers in a way. Facilitates problem. So next one is facilitate problem. It facilitates problem solving. If there is a problem occur in research, a researcher can do something to solve their problem, and there is more way to solve their problem in a research. So next one is cross-disciplinary application. So next one is cross-disciplinary application. So when it comes to cross-disciplinary, the research can be applicable to not only one sector or field. It is applicable to many sectors. For example, medical research can applicable done by the computers algorithms and so on. So next one is innovation and advancement. So research is always facilitate for innovation and advancement in a researcher's life. Next one is limitations of research. So what all are the disadvantages or limitations in research? In the sense, complexity and accessibility. Sometimes the research can be very complex in nature and also very difficult to access the data from the people. For example, if we take a snowball method of research, if there is a disease for someone, the researcher could not reach the diseased people, or uh, he have to go further and distance time, and it takes money, and it take time to reach the destination. So it is complexity in nature, and also difficult to access the data from nature. Next one is resource intensity. So next, research intensity is, it takes time, and also it takes distance, or it takes money to access the data. So second one is research intensity, that is also a disadvantage. Next one is measurement errors and bias. Sometimes researcher can do mistakes that will occur as a error and bias when he is deliberately doing something in his research that can affect his research. So that is also definitely a limitation to his research. Next one is dynamic and evolving nature. So research always dynamic in nature. Dynamic in the sense it is changing and evolving nature. Next one is interpretation and misapplication. When a researcher do research, interpretation of data can goes wrong, and misapplication of when a researcher do research, the interpretation of data can be go wrong, and also misapplication in data can also be go wrong. So that is one of the limitation. Next one is replication challenges. When it comes to laboratories or experimental researches, it is a very challenge to replicate the accurate process of some research, and that comes into our research. So next process is technology dependence. So the researcher is very oftenly using technologies to interpret his data and also his research process. That will be a limitation for his research. There is no knowledge for researchers. Sample size. Next one is sample size. The researcher cannot access data from the desired participants. So it can be large population and also a small population. That is also one of the limitations. And next one is lack of previous studies in the research. Some researchers do research but without any review of literature or without any knowledge. Okay. Next process is research process. The stages involved in research process is identifying the research problem, review of literature, setting research questions, objectives and hypotheses, choosing the study design, deciding on the sample design, collecting data, processing and analyzing data, hypothesis testing, generalization and interpretation. At the last step is preparation of the report. So first process involved in the research is research process consists of a series of steps or action required for effectively conducting research. The following stages involved in the research process. First process is identifying the research problem. The first process is identifying the research problem is the first and foremost task. The problem leads the researcher to accomplish the result. For example, decline in customer retention rate. So next topic is review of literature. Review of literature helps the researcher to find out what others have learned and reported on the problem. By reviewing the literature point of view in a particular research problem, the researcher can accomplish his report as he desired. And next topic is after defining the research problem, the researcher should set questions, objectives, hypotheses of the researcher. So next one is choosing the research design. So research design can be categorized into four. survey, experimental, secondary data of study, observational study. So survey is nothing but when we are going personally to the participants and take questionnaires from the participants, and it takes surveys for our collection of data. And the experimental is when we do something experimental to access data from the participants. And next topic is secondary data study. So as I said before, newspapers, magazines, and journals that can help researchers to access secondary data. And next one is observational study. When a researcher observes something and interpret data from the research problem. Deciding on the sample size is the next process. In research, sampling design is planned for selecting individuals or units from a population to collect data from. The researcher should determine the size of the sample, the method of sampling, the test of the sample, etc. So, next process is collection of data may be done in a many way. It is done by self-administrative questions. Qualitative data can be collected through in-depth interviews, discussions, and observational studies. So, interview, discussion, and observation studies collected by qualitative data, and also quantitative data can also be considered in a research collected through numerical analysis and statistical evaluation. Next topic is processing and analyzing data involves editing and coding of data. Editing reduces errors. So when a researcher do research, there is more way to occur errors and interpretation of data's errors. So he have to edit the errors and reduce the errors in his research. Next topic is hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing is a statistical method used to determine if there is enough evidence in the sample data to draw conclusion. It can be done by using different types of hypotheses like null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, logical hypothesis, simple hypothesis. So a hypothesis is nothing but it's an expected outcome. So ninth process is generalizing and interpretation is the previous process of research. Before preparing the report, all the finding will be interpreted by the researcher to complete his or her report. So last process is preparation of report. It is the most last topic. When a researcher do research and completes his research, that is the last step to prepare of the report. So first one is an executive summary. A report includes must executive summary about a brief statement about the research problems. Next one is background of the problem. The researcher should mention the background of the problem, why he has taken the problem. And the next step is literature review. So previous researcher who did this research and also determine the review of literature is nothing but when a researcher do research, he have to access the data that a previous researcher do related to his research. Next, methodology. So methodology is nothing but what the type of sample size or research design they have taken. Next one is findings. So when a researcher done everything, he have to conclude with something before he have to give findings to the research problem. And then suggestions. Suggestion facilitate the report and enhance the problem. Next one is conclusion. So he have to conclude the process with a brief explanation and also recommendations like websites he has used, access of data he has used, everything. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for watching.